What if I told you that 5 companies control what you see, what you buy, what you think, and even how you live? Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. They're not just tech brands anymore. They're the invisible infrastructure of our economy. From your morning alarm on an iPhone to your Amazon delivery at night, every part of your day runs through their hands. Let's be honest. If the internet went down tomorrow, most of us wouldn't know how to make toast. That's how deep this tech empire runs. But here's the crazy part. Their rise wasn't overnight. It was a slow, calculated revolution that reshaped capitalism itself. So, how did we get here? And what's the real cost of a world run by tech giants? Hey everyone, welcome back to Biz Impact Stories. Today we're diving into something that affects literally every aspect of your life, even if you don't realize it. The tech giants Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta have completely reshaped our economy, our jobs, and honestly, our entire society. And just like when the government shuts down and we suddenly realize how many systems we take for granted, these tech titans have become the infrastructure of our daily lives. But seriously, how did we get here? How did a few companies founded by college dropouts and computer nerds become more powerful than most countries? And what does it mean for your future in this economy? The 90s revolution, seeds of Silicon Valley. It all started in the garages of California, not with billion-dollar investors, but with big ideas and cheap pizza. Microsoft gave computers a brain. Apple gave them a soul. Google gave them curiosity. Amazon gave them convenience. And Facebook gave them drama. These companies weren't building products, they were building ecosystems. And suddenly, anyone with an internet connection could dream bigger than Wall Street. Students became CEOs. Data became gold. And innovation became the new oil. Between 1995 and 2020, these giants created millions of direct and indirect jobs. Apple didn't just employ coders, it powered entire supply chains in China, India, and the US. Amazon turned small-town warehouses into economic hubs. Google's ads gave rise to a whole new industry, the digital economy. Together, they added trillions of dollars to global GDP. And for a while, it felt like everyone was winning. But here's the question, when a company becomes too big to fail, does it stop innovating and start dominating? The 2010s changed everything. As our dependence on tech grew, these companies quietly began building something far bigger: control. Control over our attention, our habits, our wallets. Google decided what we see. Amazon decided what we buy. Apple built the ecosystem that locked us in. Microsoft powered the cloud that runs everything. And Meta turned our lives into content. But it wasn't innovation anymore, it was influence. These weren't just businesses. They were becoming nations of their own, with GDPs larger than most countries. Every tap, scroll, and click generates data, and data fuels profits. Google alone handles over 8.5 billion searches per day. That's billions of data points about what humanity wants, fears, and dreams about. And that data, it's monetized, analyzed, and used to predict the next product you'll buy before you even think of it. That's not just smart business. That's economic engineering. The rise of these tech empires didn't just change companies, it changed countries. Local stores couldn't compete with Amazon's logistics empire. Advertising agencies collapsed as Google and Meta swallowed digital ads. Even governments started relying on Microsoft's cloud to store national data. The global economy isn't just influenced by tech anymore, it's interconnected with it. So we can say that somewhere out there, a fridge connected to Wi-Fi just nodded in agreement. Innovation always comes with a price. And for the first time in modern capitalism, power isn't in the hands of governments or banks. It's in the hands of algorithms. Algorithms that decide who gets seen, who gets paid, and who gets silenced. Small businesses struggle to get visibility without paying for ads. Privacy becomes a luxury. and workers face automation that could replace them with code. We built the most powerful economy in history, but maybe it's built on digital sand. Now the question is, when does the successful business become dangerous monopoly? Remember when the government shut down? Services stopped, people couldn't work, systems broke down. Now imagine if Google went offline permanently, or if Amazon stopped deliveries. The economy would literally collapse. Is that too much power for private companies to hold? When Apple takes a 30% cut from every app sold, developers have no choice but to pay. When Amazon promotes its own products over third-party sellers, those small businesses suffer. When Google puts its services at the top of search results, competitors disappear. When Facebook, Meta acquires potential competitors like Instagram and WhatsApp, innovation can stall. Sound familiar? It's basically a digital version of the railroad and oil monopolies from 100 years ago. Except these companies control something potentially more valuable than oil. They control information and access to the digital economy. Regulators around the world are finally catching up. Antitrust laws, data privacy reforms, breakup talks. The battle between innovation and regulation is the new Cold War. And here's the twist: we, the users, hold the most power. Every click, every app download, every purchase is a vote in the digital economy. The question is, what are we voting for? Despite the fears, there's also hope. AI, renewable tech, quantum computing, the next wave of tech could build a smarter, fairer economy. If we learn from history, we can balance innovation with responsibility. Because the story of tech isn't about machines, it's about us, our choices, our values, our future. Every generation has its industrial revolution. For ours, it's digital. The rise of tech giants has given us progress beyond imagination, but also challenges we're only beginning to understand. So the next time you use your phone, scroll your feed, or order online, remember, you're not just a user. You're part of the biggest economic transformation in human history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into how tech reshaped our economy, subscribe to Biz Impact Stories, where we uncover the untold stories of business, innovation, and power that shape our world. Because understanding the past of business helps you predict the future of the economy. Subscribe and join the impact.